Okay, we're going to continue our recording of how to configure a NAT router. My NAT router server has already been built in a previous session. I'm going to configure some initial settings. So at this point we're going to add a role. So we'll click Add Roles and Features. Looks like it's still initializing. Okay. While the installation is taking place, it will take a few minutes. We'll pause here. Okay, as we can see, the install just wrapped up. It shows here that the installation succeeded for this particular machine. So I'm going to close the applet, and at this point we're going to go ahead and configure remote access. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and conduct a restart of the machine before coming back to configure NAT. Okay, my machine is restarted. A couple of things that I'm going to want to do before I get into configuring NAT. I'm going to take a look at our IP addressing. I'm going to right click here, open network and sharing. You also notice that I have internet access on this particular network adapter. And so we're going to need to add a second network adapter in order to set up NAT. So ETH0 is my only adapter at this point. The way we set up a second network adapter is to go to VMware Settings, select Add, then we're going to add a network adapter. Select Next. We're going to configure this particular adapter for bridge mode, replicate physical network. The original adapter is set up for NAT, and we need that to remain as NAT because it needs to be able to pull an IP address that's on a routable network. Click Finish and select OK. Okay, now we see Ethernet 0, which is our original network adapter, and we see Ethernet 1, the newest one that we just added. Ethernet 0 is going to be available for our WAN link, our WAN interface. Ethernet 1 will be assigned to our LAN. Okay. Before we get into configuration, one other thing that I'd like to do, and this is just for housekeeping, I am going to rename my Ethernet adapter so that the LAN adapter is named LAN and the WAN adapter will be named WAN. So let's right click here, open network and sharing, change adapter settings, and here we see our adapters. Again, Ethernet 0, I'm going to right click here, rename, and this will be my WAN adapter. And then Ethernet 1, I'm going to rename this. This will be my LAN adapter. Okay, then we can close this. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and configure my LAN adapter while I'm here. And I'm using 200. The reason why, I know the diagram in the Before You Begin section has your NAT router as 250 and it has the DNS server as 200. But I'm going to combine my DNS server and NAT router. That way I don't have to make two separate machines. They're going to be consolidated into one Windows Server 2012 R2 machine that's serving both functions. We're using a /16 and then my default gateway. Oops. DNS, and we'll save the adapter settings. Okay. So let's close this, and then we'll go to remote access. We'll right click on our NAT router here, select remote access management, and so the next step would be to select direct access and VPN. And then select Open RAS Management, select NAT Router, right click, configure and enable routing and remote access. And we want a NAT router. Select WAN for your public interface. Finish. Select Finish again. And there we have it.
Hey guys, Justin here from JNet Tech, bringing you another video of how to set up Windows Server.
Okay, I am back. Just one last thing, just wanted to verify that everything is working properly. So just some checks to go over. As we see here, my WAN link is configured with an IPv4 DHCP assigned address. Also have IPv6 enabled. My LAN IP address is 10.10.1.200. IPv6 is also enabled here. And then we notice that my firewall, I have my network set for private, and I turned the private firewall off so that my computers I don't have an issue with firewall. I could have gone in and set a rule, but it's easier to turn it off for this lesson. And so here again we have our IP addressing established. If I look at my network connections, I have my WAN and my LAN link. go to change adapter settings, look at the IP addressing for the LAN link. Again, 10.10.1.200/16 subnet. My WAN link, it shows where I'm using 192.168.1.23, which is my home router assigned IP address, and the default gateway that's used to get out to the internet, 1.1. Now what we're going to do is take a quick look at a couple other things that I had to do, though, and we should do these on all servers. Under Tools, Local Security Policy, remember that you must go to Network List Manager Policies. Under the Network tab, select Network Location, set that for private. And then under All Networks, go there and select Network Location section, User Can Change Location. Okay, those things are required on each of our servers. And so now if I were to go to 410 server 1, and this machine, I have my resolution set pretty high. If I go here and I go over to network, something happened to my connection here. I thought I told it to, did I change something? Okay, some troubleshooting needs to take place here. So I am going to troubleshoot my connection. And by the way, there was one correction that I needed to make in my LAN adapter settings. So on the LAN interface, properties, I actually had to reset or point my default gateway to the WAN IP address. And so once I corrected this, and then I go over to 410 server 1 and I check my network connection, it is successful. So if I were to navigate to a website, if all goes well, I should be able to connect. And let's try to get to, let's say, Dell.com. Oops, I might have typed it wrong. Dell.com. Looks like I'm connected to the internet. The computer's a little slow. I've only got 4 gig of RAM in this machine, and I've got a couple of VMs running, some websites open, and that type of thing. I must have still typed it wrong. Okay, but at any rate, I am on the connection problems. Or maybe Dell site's down. That's not the right IP address. Let's go to a different site. Okay, we're good. Something must be going on with Dell site. All right, so that's essentially how you'll set up a NAT router. All right, until next time, take care.